Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Nico V here. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit differently than we normally do on the channel. We are going to be making a tier list, and today we're going to be ranking every single member in the Hololive agency. This is something that I feel very strongly about, something I'm very passionate about, because I really do love Hololive. I'm a huge fan. I dedicate probably 21 out of the 24 hours of my day to watching their streams, and the other three I dedicate to watching their VODs and highlights. Admittedly, I do watch some more than others, but I think I've seen enough of them to where I can give a well rounded opinion. So, without further ado, let's get right into the tier list. All right, so first up we have A-chan. She is the manager. For those of you that don't know, she doesn't really stream. She doesn't provide any content, but she's kind of the behind the scenes. Without her, the whole show falls apart. So without her, none of this exists. So she's very important. So we're gonna give her an S tier. I think that's only fair because like you kind of have to, right? Without her, whole show falls apart. And the next up, we have the OG. That's going to be Tokino Sora. She was around for a very, very long time, much more so than for everybody else, and definitely like way before the big VTuber wave happened. So she's kind of one of the founding members of Hololive, or VTubers in general, I would say. And she was holding it down, and she was working hard kind of when she kind of had to build stuff on her own. I feel like the members nowadays, they kind of have an easier way into it because Hololive is such a big agency. But she held it down when they were kind of a no-name. So we're going to put her into an S tier. Easy S tier. She's got to be, right? All right, next up is Robico. I don't see too much of her. She's a robot, which is pretty cool. Again, she's one of the ones that I watched a little less of, but I really like her character design, so I think that's an S tier right there, easily. All right, next up we have Sakura Miko. She is what you call a baby and the elite. And I can't put the elite in anything lower than S tier. I'm a big fan of her. She's very cool, very funny, and I think her voice is pretty cute. So easy S tier for her. All right, next up we have Aski. She's more of a singer. I don't really watch her too much either. But she's got a great design, and I like her color scheme. So easy S tier right there. I'd say so. Next up we have Suisei. Her Tetris skills are godlike. She's absolutely incredible. I like blue hair. I was a big fan of Rei and Evangelion, and I think she gives off that kind of vibe. So we're gonna put her in S tier because I just think that's where she belongs. All right, next up we're gonna go into the first gen Hololive because this is technically the Gen 0, I guess. So now we're gonna go to Gen 1, and we're gonna start with Fubuki. Fubuki is another one of the OGs. She was one of the first to reach 1 million subscribers. I don't like that every time I send her money asking her to be my wife, she rejects me and calls me a friend. However, she is very funny, and she was kind of one of the ones that got the balls rolling with this whole VTuber train. She had some good memes about her, so I think that's an easy S tier for her. Next up, we have Matsuri. She's funny. I think the jokes about her are funny, and I like her voice actress a lot, and I like the ponytail. Ponytails are cute. So I think she has to go into S tier. Next up is Yozora Mel. Again, another one that I didn't watch too much about, or I didn't know too much about, I should say. But I did see that she recently did a collaboration with Amelia Watson, and she was very nice and wholesome, and she tried her best. And when you try your best, I don't think that gets you anything less than S tier, right? Next up, we have Akai Hato, or Hachima, as some of you new people might know her. She is insane. She vomits on stream and has eaten a tarantula, but she also has one of the most in-depth character arcs over in the whole like Hololive verse, I guess. So I think that she's an S tier. She's grade A entertainment right there. And next up after that, we actually have my favorite VTuber right here. That is going to be Key Rosenthal. She made a video that really touched my heart, and it was about how she was kind of slow to start, and she kind of had the low subscribers, and she didn't feel really too good about it, but she spoke her heart out, and obviously she's doing a lot better now. She's much more popular. She's also very sweet and funny, and her streams just seem to be more chill. And if you like Arc, then she's kind of your go-to to watch. That's an S tier. S tier for me. She's my favorite, so I'm kind of biased in that one, I will admit. Next up, Minato Aqua, big Apex player, at least from what I've seen, and the maid outfit. That's just an S tier automatically. I don't know what to tell you there. That should be self-explanatory. Don't need to say that much more. Next up is Yuzuki Choko. I don't really watch much of her, and I really don't watch much of the second gen in general. So I apologize if my opinion of them is like a little less informed. I watch Subaru a lot, but everybody else from second gen I don't really watch. It doesn't mean they're any less entertaining. It's just just got I can't watch all of them at once. So I got to pick and choose. But Yuzuki Choko, I'm gonna give her an S tier because she has that kind of anime mom vibe, and we stand anime moms on this channel. Ayame gets S tier because for the for the character design alone. I do want to watch more of her streams. I've seen some funny clips about her, but again, I haven't seen too much. Shiona's up next. A lot of the other idols talk about her, and I like her hat. So just because she's so popular, I'm going to put her in S tier. Subaru's up next. She's a duck. I like ducks, so she's going into S tier. All right, so now we're getting to the Hololive gamers, which is kind of like they're like kind of like hidden generation, I guess. It's not really a hidden generation, but it doesn't have a number. But they specifically did gaming. First up's Mio. Mio's very soft-spoken. She's very good at ASMR. I like wolves. Black and red is a great color scheme to go by. That's an S tier for me. Next up is Okayo. She's very chill, and I think that represents the whole cat persona very well. Very soft-spoken, and I really like listening to her voice, and I like how she says mogu mogu at the beginning of her streams. She's a foodie, so, foodie, like, that's always a great personality trait to have. Even though she's much more in depth than that. So we're going to put Okayu in the S tier because I think that Korone would be sad if she was put anywhere else. And speaking of Korone, she is up next. Now, she's probably the most popular one out of Japan. I think she's arguably the most popular in general, other than Gura, obviously, when it comes to subscribers. She's got a lot of memes about her. She's done product placement and stuff, and she was even an Easter egg in Doom Eternal. So that's an S tier. That's an S tier right there, truly. Next up, we're going to get into the third generation of Hololive, and we're going to kick that off with Shiranui Flare. She is an elf. And again, I like the ponytails, and I heard she's a pretty good gamer. She's got some elite skills. I've seen her pull off some crazy stuff on stream. That's an S tier. Next up, we have Hosho Marine, and I feel like if you are in the rabbit hole, you've probably heard of this girl. In contention for the most bottom left, as the community likes to put it. So we're gonna put her in the S tier because she's a pirate. Pirates are funny, and it's incredible that somebody who's 40 years old can keep up with the rest of these VTubers and still give off a great personality. Next up, Shirogane Noelle. She has a romance with Flare, so I'm gonna put her in the S tier because I feel like again with the case of these two, if these two weren't together, they would be sad. So. Next up is Pekora, and she's unique among everyone here in that she's not actually an idol, but she's a comedian. She's a legendary intro. I really enjoyed the arc where she told her mom about becoming a VTuber. I thought that was just grade A entertainment, so gotta put her in the S tier. Can't really put her anywhere else. That's just where she fits in. Next up is Rushia, and Rushia actually just made 1 million subscribers, so congratulations to her. I will admit I'm a little biased towards her because she's also one of my favorites. She's actually, if you guys can see that, she's actually my wallpaper right now. So, I really like her aesthetic. I really like how she yells into the mic. I like when my ears bleed. So, that's an S tier right there. Big fan of Rushi. I really like her. That's going to do it for the third generation. So, we're going to move on, and we're going to move on to Sivia, Yogiri, and Spade Echo. They're from Hololive CN, and they are retired. So, I'll admit I did not watch any of their content. So, I'm going to put them in S tier just because I'm sure if I did, I would have loved them and they would have done a great job. Next up, we have the fourth generation of Hololive, and we're going to start off with Amane Kanata. She's very nice to Coco. These two have a very special relationship. It's just very, very, very wholesome to see. Even though this one's not super wholesome, this one's very nice. And this is kind of, watching both of these two is kind of like watching a buddy cop movie, so kind of goes in the S tier. Coco's going to go into the S tier too, just to talk about her a little bit more. She's fluent in English. So she's a little easier to watch if you don't speak Japanese. She's also very funny. She got great dance moves, and she does some questionable things sometimes. But I think that just really spices up the performance. So both of them are going into S tier. Next up is Watame. I don't watch too much of her, but her avatar's cute, so S tier. Next up is Tawa. Great drip. I'd say she's probably the drippiest out of any of the Hololive members. If you're a fan of streetwear, you'll definitely love her. So we're gonna put her in S tier. Next up is Luna. Luna has a very interesting character design. I feel like her eyes and just the way that she was drawn is much different than everyone else in this tier list. So she's going into S tier just because she's so unique. Now, after Gen 4, we're going into another Hololive CN generation, which again was retired. This is going to be Artia, Rosalind, and Doris. Again, didn't watch them, but I'm sure they would have done a great job. And I can't put them anywhere else, let's be honest. All right, so next up we have the first of the Hololive Indonesia branch. Those guys are all really funny. Lofi, S tier, easy S tier. Watch your stuff, very calm, very nice. Muna also gives off anime mom vibes, so I'm gonna put her in S tier too. And Rizu, I'm also gonna put in S tier because she's actually the daughter of Krone and Okayu. I feel like they'd be very upset if her daughter didn't make the S tier, so she gets in there as well. And she's just very sweet and adorable. Next up, we have the 5th generation, or Holo 5, as they are called. We're going to start off with Lammy. She's very sweet, very soft-spoken. Another one that I don't really watch too much of, but I see her collab with a lot of people, and blue hair is always a plus in my book, so she's getting S tier. Nene, I saw her ride a roller coaster. She's very funny, and she's very enthusiastic, and she does great stuff with her avatar. Very entertaining. Batan is a tiger. Big fan of tigers. I like cats. S tier, easily. Next up, we have Manolo. She is retired, so you can't watch her anymore. But she was great while she was around, and I miss her every day. Next up, we have Polka. Polka has a very funny expression, and I think it fits her voice very well. And I heard she has a potato PC, which I can relate to, so we're going to go into S tier for her. Very colorful. Look at those little things in her hair. I like that. Next up, we have Hololive EN, and I feel like these guys are probably the first introduction to Hololive to a lot of Western people, just because obviously speaking English for them is a very big advantage. First, you have Callie. She's a musician, and the Grim Reaper. So I'm going to put her in S tier because she makes great music, and if I don't, she'll probably kill me. Next up, we have Kiara, and Kiara is the bottom left of Hololive EN. She resonates horny energy a lot. I'm going to give her an S tier because when she played Fire Emblem 3 Houses, she picked the Black Eagles and went with Edelgard, and that's the route that I chose. So big shout out to her. Ina's the most sane person in Hololive EN, even though she does have her moments. She's the most soft-spoken, and she's very chill. And while everyone else can kind of be a handful, she's just kind of the quiet, reserved one, and I like that a lot about her, so I'm going to give her an S tier. Gargara has the highest subscriber count out of any of the Hololive members. She had the fastest growth too. Like as soon as she debuted, she hit 1 million in no time, and then she made 2 million before anyone else. So gotta put her in the S tier for those numbers alone. Amelia Watson's next. She's actually my favorite out of all of the Hololive EN members. I like her gremlin laughs, and I like her hiccups, and I like how toxic she is. She reminds me of being in a Modern Warfare 2 lobby back in 2009. So I'm going to put her into the S tier. Next up, we have Crazy Ollie, and when Hololive Indonesia Gen 2 dropped, she shot out like a cannon. I'm a big fan of her character design, and I like how high energy she is, and that's always a good thing for streaming, so she gets an S tier. Next up, we have Anya. I don't watch much of her, to be completely honest. I've only seen a little bit of her, but she seems like a nice person, so I got to give her the S tier. Next up, we have Rene. I think we all know how I feel about anime moms at this point, so she's going to get an S tier, and I remember on Amelia Watson's birthday, she's one of the people that called in and wished her happy birthday, and that was very nice of her. Alright, so that's going to top up our Hololive tier list. Again, this is just my opinion, so please no flames. What I'm trying to say here is that I think that even if there is an idol that is not maybe your cup of tea, it certainly will be for somebody else. They're all unique and special, and I love all of them. And that's it. That's the whole video. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I'll see you all next time.